Well, hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's Kibom here, and I'm so glad to see you for joining me on this mini video. So, I hope you're all doing well, and thank you ever so much for support my channel. I hope you enjoyed my videos so much. I hope you feel entertained. And I'm sorry I didn't have much time to make videos, so I decided to keep you all waiting. I do apologise for that, but I still do my best for if I can. Okay, so I will go to each of you guys. I have got Disney's Snow White Helps for 7 Dwarfs. This is a Gorilla Book Club edition, and Disney is wonderful reading. If some of you were quite familiar with that, because Snow White is such a classic Disney movie. I love Snow White. I previously did read Snow White and 7 Dwarfs. Okay, this time I'm going to have a go reading this storybook version. Well, okay, so sit back and relax and enjoy. Okay, let's begin to read. Snow White was a beautiful princess. She lived with her prince in a castle high on the hill. She was very happy. She spent her days picking flowers, feeding her pet swans, and singing with the birds. But one morning, Snow White felt sad. She thought of a time when she lived with her friends, the 7 Dwarfs. Suddenly, she missed them very much. Snow White went to her husband, the prince. "My dear," she said, "I would like to visit my friends, the dwarfs." "That's a good idea," said the prince. "I will come and get you tonight." So Snow White picked a basket of food and headed for the woods. She knew the dwarfs would be working in the mine. She would surprise them when they came home for dinner. Snow White walked all morning. She walked up and down hills. Once she stopped for a drink of water. At noon, Snow White arrived at the cottage of the 7 Dwarfs. She opened the door and walked in. What a mess! The dwarfs were never very neat. Snow White said to herself, "I'll start cleaning up right away." Snow White cleaned the whole cottage. Her animal friends helped her. She scrubbed the floor, made a bed, and washed the dishes. Finally, Snow White sat down. Then she fixed a dwarf's socks, and she waited for them to come home. She thought her friends would be there soon. Suddenly, the sky got very dark. It began to rain. Snow White saw lightning and heard thunder rumbling in the distance. The dwarfs were not home yet, and she was worried. The dwarfs in the mine heard the thunder too. "We had better go home right away," said Doc. The other dwarfs agreed. They packed up their tools. Doc and Grumpy stepped out of the mine first. Just then, a bolt of lightning struck down the big tree nearby. Crash! The tree blocked the entrance to the mine. Doc and Grumpy were not hurt, but the other 5 dwarfs were trapped in the mine. Said Grumpy. "This will make us late for dinner." "Well, dinner must wait. We will have to get them out first," said Doc. First, they all tried to move the tree, but they were not strong enough. Then Doc and Grumpy tried to chop it with their picks and shovels. That didn't work either. "We'll have to go home and get better tools," Doc shouted to the others. "Don't worry, we'll be back soon." Doc and Grumpy started on the long walk back to their cottage. The storm was getting worse and worse. "Huff," said Grumpy. "Why did this have to happen?" "Dopey," said Doc. "It won't take us long to get them out." They finally reached their cottage. The light was on inside. "Oh dear," said. Who could be there?" Quietly, they peeked in the window. "Why, it's Snow White," Doc said happily. "Yes," said Grumpy. But all 4 days." Doc and Grumpy ran for the door. "Snow White, it's so good you are here," said Doc. "Something terrible has happened. The dwarfs are trapped in the mine, and we have to get them out," said Grumpy. "Don't worry," said Snow White. "Get the tools you will need. I will make some hot cocoa and sandwiches to bring along," she said. "You must all be very hungry." "Yes," said Doc. "But the only thing that matters right now is getting the others out." Soon, the three headed back to the mine. It was still raining, and it was very dark. They were all wondering how the other dwarfs were doing. When they reached the mine, the rain had stopped. Doc showed Snow White the entrance. It was still blocked by the big tree. First, Doc and Grumpy tried to push the tree. Then they tried to pull it with a rope, but the tree would not move. Grumpy kicked it in anger. They didn't know what to do next. They saw the prince on his horse. They called out to him. The prince was happy to see his wife. Snow White told him how the big tree fell and trapped 5 dwarfs in the mine. Snow White also told the prince how Doc and Grumpy had tried to move the tree. "Don't worry," said the prince. I will help you." He went to his horse and took a rope out of his saddle bag. The prince tied one end of the rope to his horse and the other end to the tree. Then he told the horse to pull. Soon the horse pulled the tree away from the mine. The dwarfs were free. Everyone was so happy. The prince took Snow White in his arms, and the dwarfs danced around them. But Grumpy remembered basket Snow White had brought along. "It is way past dinner time," he said, "and we are just dancing around." "Where is your basket, Snow White?" "I brought something too," said the prince. "Let's have a party." So they all sat down and had a wonderful picnic in the grass. The hot cocoa, sandwiches, and the fruit tasted so good. "Hooray for Snow White and the prince!" shouted the 7 dwarfs. When they finished eating, the prince said to Snow White, "It is getting late. We should return to the castle now, or someone will worry." The 7 dwarfs took their hats off and waved goodbye. "Thank you," they called. "Come back soon." "We will," said Snow White. The end. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed this video about reading Disney's Snow White and Helps of 7 Dwarfs. So especially who likes original first full-length movie, Disney movie, Snow White. It was premiered in 1937. That was a good classic film. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. So thank you ever so much for watching. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to hit this bell notification. Don't miss out future videos. You can look up my social media links. You can support me just from video description below. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook page and TikTok. You can obviously support my additional and behind story highlights and exclusive content. So I hope you please stay tuned for another next video. So I hope you see you later. So have a nice day.